The beautiful Alicia Fox.
Spoke to you and said this, Bob, but my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Loaded up with alcohol, more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
3 ain't enough now, I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
And after tonight, none of you in this ring will ever be the same again.
Hello, welcome to 3 Count Thursday, live here on our Facebook page. Thursday, April 18th, 2019. We are the podcast of the millennium. This week we have tons to talk about, including who went where, and does WWE have a problem? But first, our show is brought to you by Alicia's Pillows and Things. Make sure you check out Alicia's and Pillows and Things. They are they can be found through our home network and GSC Sports. Home decor at great prices, low prices. You'll find pillows and stools featuring your favorite sports teams, kids' favorite cartoon or movie characters, and much more. Full body neck pillows as well. Log on to ngscsports.com. Find the Alicia's Pillows and Things tab on the homepage and place your order. Boys, how we doing?
Great.
Hey, Jim.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi, how are
Hey,
you?
Good. I'm great. I'm fucking great.
What did Dave say?
Dave, it's been a fucking day. I don't even, it's not even.
So we may not have had a podcast about 45 seconds before the podcast because he was about to spike his phone.
No, that phone cost way too much money to spike it. But it was, it's not been a great day.
It's not been good. Everybody's, we're just fucking with Jim today.
It's, yeah, that'd be a great idea.
I should have adjusted this beforehand.
Oh, so now you're going to get on me for doing something before the show starts.
Yeah,
I'll
that's me.
I'll get.
I had to shimmy away from Big Jim over here for fear of being struck during this show.
If you're following along on the live video, make sure you give it a like, give it a share. Maybe do one of those viewing party things.
I like a good viewing party. Maybe we'll do a viewing party
Get as
tonight.
many people in here as possible. We'd appreciate it.
You know what Jim says about what Jim tells a co-host with 2 black eyes, right?
Nothing. You already told him twice.
That's right.
I will not make any jokes tonight about your sports team, Jim. I know
that's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Yes, not about the Caps at all. I will not make a joke about the Caps.
That's a smart choice. Again, if you want to follow along in the live video, react and interact in the live video, we'd appreciate it. No indie shows this week on the calendar.
I mean, there's got to be an indie show.
There has to be
somewhere.
None in our area.
None that we've known. So if you know one, tell a friend. Put it in our chat. We'll signal boost to your favorite indie fed of choice.
That's what'll happen.
We'll just do it.
Hungover.
What a maneuver.
This is tough.
You should go to 3countThursday.com.
I gotta point at the sign, Jim. Give me the chance to point at the sign.
I forgot to unroll the sign after the indie show this past weekend, so it's all curled in on the edge.
It's all good.
Wrestling. Thanks for having us. I thought we did okay as GMs.
Yeah, we did all right.
How'd we do?
The show got away from us a little bit.
Got a little, yeah.
There were some sort of miscounts. I probably should have flexed my general manager duties a bit more, but we stepped in and we made sure Andy Weinberg wrestled a match against the Red Scorpion. He wanted to try to worm his way out of it, and we weren't having it. It backfired for Mr. Scorpion and I guess 3 Count Thursday, but I thought it was a fun show. We had a good time.
Good. I mean, as long as
toasty in there, it got warm.
Yeah, and we had a
beautiful day.
We had a fantastic night. You guys warmed it up over here.
We
and
did. How was Excellence?
Oh, excellent was the exact phrase, man. Excellent professional wrestling out in Sellersville every second Saturday. It was a fantastic event.
There it is.
This week, Majestic 12.
Ooh, the Majestic.
And then next month, May the 11th, we are Crop Circles.
How the hell do I do one of them watch party things?
I don't know. I do it on my phone every once in a while, but I don't know how I did it. I think I did it under a share option.
Holy smokes.
We hit share,
Why
Jim.
did they make it this difficult?
Hit share and then start watch
Don't
party.
start with me.
Hey, do you like my new hurricane shirt?
Yikes.
Yeah, Jim,
my
don't
God.
start with me.
Yikes.
Fucking you piece of shit.
Yeah, don't start with me, Jim.
How do you do it? All right.
Hit the share button, Jim.
Well, no, it's different
No, it's
than
different
sharing.
on
It's different
a
than
pad.
sharing.
He's padding it on a shirt, or I'm sorry, on Jesus Christ.
Yeah, words
On
are
a
hard.
shirt?
English is hard. Words are hard. Is Matt joining us, or is he
I think the
sixering
six
tonight?
rings tonight.
I don't
Hopefully
know.
he's having a better freaking time than I am.
How are the
for it.
Sixers doing? Does anybody know?
I know they lost game one.
I think they're tied 1-1
In the
Okay.
series.
in the series. Yeah, 7-game series,
The best of 7.
best of 7.
Now, is hockey 7 or is that 5 this round?
It's
Is
7.
it always 7?
Always best of 7.
Always 7.
The AHL does best of 5 in the first round.
Is that okay? That's where I got that from.
See, I wish more. I know it's all a money thing, that you'll never get away from 7-game series
Sure.
in pro sports, because each team wants at least 2 home games. So they're gonna want, usually the difference is either a 2-2, 1-1-1 or a 2-3-2 series.
Right. Now, how does basketball do it?
I believe basketball is a
2-3-2.
2-2, 1-1-1.
Okay. And hockey.
Hockey
Is
is
that typically
2-2-1-1-1.
Oh, is it? Okay.
In the AHL again, they will do when it goes to 7, they do 2-3-2 because it's cheaper.
Oh, that makes sense, right?
Teams
AHL.
just stay in the city for multiple.
Sure, that makes sense.
Sixers up 11 in the
Hey.
third.
Oh, so Matt should be in a good mood
Yeah.
tonight.
I still can't figure out that damn.
But
All
be
right.
sure to go to 3countthursday.com. Check out all of the links for our merch from whatamaneuver.net. Our affiliate links with Collar and Elbow brand. Use the promo code 3count to get 10% off of your order. That's off of anything and everything on the store, including stuff that is on sale. So that promo code 3count, always the number, never the word, can save you a good chunk of change. They're probably going to be coming out soon with a summer line, I'm sure.
I think they had some new items drop.
They probably did for WrestleMania. But
Collar and Elbow, they did have a few things drop. I think it was their spring line.
Yep. So I'm just gonna assume that, like any good merchandising affiliate, they're gonna have a summer line. So be sure to.
Yeah, they
I
had.
think they have released some summer.
Yeah,
stuff,
they have a Big Apple one, which I guess was kind of the WrestleMania
The New Yorkie.
themed in a way.
Yep.
They have one. It's called the Denzel. It's a like vintage Philly colored. It is a maroon and
like that.
the baby blue.
Okay.
That's a solid shirt. And then there's a couple others there. So again, make sure you check that out. They still have the Irish Whip, the St. Patty's Day one. Still have some of the Mean Gene stuff, and some of your classic flavors that like there's some great stuff on clearance over there. They still have the Black Friday shirt that they had $9 or $9.99. They have they have a military kind of looking one. That one's $14.99. The ECW one, that one's $13.99. There's tons of great stuff at great prices. If you like the WWE Performance Center shirts, they have one kind of like that. It's property of Collar and Elbow, and that one's only $12.99.
Nice. But say, for example, our lovely listeners say they don't like shirts. They don't like clothes. They don't wear them. They don't care for them.
They're nudists.
So how would? No, I wouldn't say that. They just don't. Clothes. Yeah. Is there? How else could someone, mayhaps, if they were so inclined?
I feel like you're
support the
describing nudists.
No. Just people who don't like clothes, like specifically shirts, because we don't have 3CT branded pants
We do not.
yet.
We should have 3CT branded like,
Zubaz?
Zubaz or like gym shorts.
I reached out to Zubaz, and they said that they are not taking new sponsors right now.
That's okay. But say
That's
for
a
example,
shame.
we have people who don't like hoodies, they don't like shirts, they don't want to buy shirts. They have too many shirts.
So you
we're
can just PayPal us money.
Yeah, but isn't there another thing that they could do where, like, instead of PayPaling us, like they could
They get a little something extra.
they could support us for just a small morsel, and they perhaps may get the hottest 10 to 17 minutes of audio a week.
So it's like kind of like a thing that they would become like a patron of, you would say.
Yeah, but patronage, ooh, I don't know. Patron.
I feel like y'all can realize real soon that we don't got a lot to talk about here tonight, and we're trying to fill some fucking time.
There's no filling time. This is a good ad for our Patreon page, patreon.com/3CountThursday, where you can join any of the payment levels. Just know it's not so much. Look at it as a way for you guys to give just a little bit back to us. I mean, it does.
We're talking $1.
$1. That's
$2.
$1, $2. You've probably spent, and that's per month. I'm sure you guys have
I still
spent.
think there's like a $10 level where we'll send you like an autographed 8x10 a month.
Yeah, and
you
it's
sign
not
up
even,
for that level,
and it's not even us. It's not even our 8x10.
It's a like WWE, TNA, former something like that, legend, up and coming wrestler.
Yeah, like
8x10 sent in the mail,
and then one day when you guys are
plus
at
we'll
that
throw in
page,
some like stickers and shit.
Yeah, so and just look at it this way: it's a way for you guys to express your level of support for us. Like we do this for free every week, no questions asked. All we ask is that you guys be here and support the show. Give it a like, give it a share.
And we appreciate that the most, for sure.
And the biggest piece of equity, or the biggest piece of currency we can take, aside from you buying merchandise or besides being a Patreon, is your social currency. You telling a friend, for us being here, being an active participant, that means the world to us.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many other different outlets.
I figured it out.
Nice. There's so many other different outlets that can take your time.
Hang with us,
got
Ryan.
excited there.
Hang with us,
There's
buddy.
so many different outlets that can take your time. Every hour, every minute, every second that you spend with us is valuable, because time is the one currency we don't get back. Once we spend that time, it's gone. So on top of your time, if you're so inclined, patreon.com/3count
This week, I'll give you a small sample of what you would hear on the pre-show, post-show this week.
Jim running his job down.
No.
Oh, no. Tim running his job down.
No,
I never said that.
Me running my job down?
No. Like,
I talked about 3-day weekends and how you guys aren't
we
getting
don't
one.
get them.
there was a list of items of smells, of different smells. Now, like this smell, like if I could say you had to pick between like a Sharpie marker and gasoline, which one would you pick?
Gasoline.
Sharpie infused gasoline.
No, that you can't do that. That breaks
You
the
want
rules.
to take a Sharpie, dip it in gas, and huff that? Yeah. We need a fucking intervention for you.
I would pick gasoline, but
This also smells really good too.
There was a list of like
It's
6.
just your breath. You breathe on that every
My
week.
breath is great.
That was
And Matt last week.
Good. Let me eat his mouth.
Oh,
God, that got awkward quick. Speaking of interventions.
Hi guys. I may or may not have been around.
Brian asked, do we accept hugs or handshakes? And we absolutely do.
Hot dogs too.
I love fucking hot dogs.
I don't see any comments on mine. I figured out the watch party thing, but I don't see any comments.
People drop in and out of your watch party, so there may not be anybody in your watch party at this time.
So
you don't get to see the
you
actual
You will
live
get to
vid.
keep track
Correct.
of the comments tonight.
That's fine.
Um,
I'm not upset by that, Jim.
but there was a
And
list
you can
of.
stop it whenever and then relaunch a new one. See, I think somebody just popped in.
Oh, hi, Russ.
Here he is, Russell.
My friend Russell.
Oh, hi, Russ. I'll do a watch
like
party.
there was 16 items
Yeah, it
that
was a long
that
list.
you had to pick 2 smells out of. You can get that for just $2 or more at patreon.com/3CountThursday.
We all love the smell of cash. And macaroni and cheese.
We do.
surprisingly.
Well, look at us. It's not surprising we like
I love
macaroni.
mac and cheese.
I don't like macaroni and cheese.
Well, that's it for 3 Count Thursday.
Yeah, we had a good run,
Had
folks.
a good run.
Um,
I just found out that I like stewed tomatoes on macaroni and cheese. Did I talk about that on the show yet?
stewed tomatoes, period, or stewed
No, I
tomatoes
don't-
on mac and
I don't
cheese?
think I would like stewed tomatoes by themselves. Like, I'm not a huge tomato guy. Like, I will take a tomato slice on a burger every once in a while, on a sub if I'm in the mood.
Do you like salsa?
I do enjoy salsa, but not like a fucking spoonful of salsa.
Like a chip and salsa?
Sure.
Okay.
So like a mac and cheese and stewed tomato.
Next time you're at the family cupboard here
I'll
in
hit the cupboard.
beautiful Lidditz, Pennsylvania,
Beautiful.
get some of their stewed tomatoes.
I did. That's where I ate them from, and I put it on mac and cheese, and
Right.
it was delicious.
Eat it by itself
I
is
don't.
what I'm saying.
All right,
Eat
I'll
it.
do it. It's
Just
part
please do
of the
it.
buffet.
For
Welcome
Jim.
to Thick Boy Thursday, where we talk about
For
stewed
Jim.
tomatoes and
Just
mac
do it for
and
Jim.
cheese.
Jim's had a bad day. Do it for Jim.
We're doing it for Jim.
Thank you.
Do it for the Gipper.
Felt cute. Did it for The Rock.
All right, so let's look at this past week. Of course, the biggest news item of the week is the Superstar shakeup, and we have the official list of who come to Raw, who come to SmackDown. What are you? Oh, he's shaking up.
He was shaking it. I was waiting for the Taylor Swift soundbite, but that did not happen. That's okay.
Shake, 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 shake. Shake it off, shake it off.
That was that'll always pop me. And now we can watch ourselves dance here in a moment.
So the
We went Al Snow with that.
he did kind of go Al Snowish. These are the superstars that moved from SmackDown to Monday Night Raw. Cedric Alexander,
Okay, good.
Eric Young, Lacey Evans, officially a roster member of Raw.
Cool.
Ding.
EC3, officially a Raw roster
No
member.
offense.
Well, now you're going to lose Frank from the show.
Way to piss off Frank. Naomi,
Okay.
Jey Uso,
Uh-huh.
Jimmy Uso,
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio,
Yeah.
Zelina Vega,
Yeah.
Andrade,
Yeah.
Aleister Black,
The black man.
officially a part of Raw. Ricochet, officially
Ricochet, the other black man.
officially a part.
Two
of,
black guys.
Not to be confused with Rick O'Shea,
Yeah.
a.k.a. Sheamus,
Sheamus.
sitting over there next to you. The Miz,
Awesome.
welcome to Raw, and AJ Styles.
Uh-huh.
And then
Okay, so here's my question. So who's left on SmackDown? Because I'm just curious, because
we'll
that's
get to-
literally
we'll-
everyone,
we'll
right?
We'll get there.
Okay, I just...
We're going to do Raw first.
So you are okay, but nobody else. Nobody got called up, which is disappointing that nobody got called up from NXT
No, well,
and went to the Red Brand.
well,
What happened?
Did somebody get called up?
I mean,
Who?
I wish I wore my. Damn it!
I mean,
I have a Viking helmet. I should have freaking worn it.
Who? What?
yeah.
So what happened?
The
Because I didn't see any call-ups on Raw.
well,
I'm pretty sure there
See,
was a
it's-
call up.
No. War Raiders are still in NXT.
right. The War Raiders
Yeah, the War Raiders
are still the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't show up.
But the Viking Experience
Who?
are on Monday Night Raw.
To quote The Rock,
That would be Eric and Ivar.
who
The-
in the blue hell
the-
is the Viking Experience? Is that like a Velveteen Dream cosplay group?
Maybe. I think maybe like it just
Cause like
It's Leif Erikson Day. Hinga dinga durgan.
okay,
Ahoy, Patrick. It's Leif Erikson Day.
so this is exactly what happened.
SpongeBob went to get more giant paper. Patrick. P.S. Happy Leif Erikson Day. Yerger hinder dinger.
Aw,
like
so
I
much
assume
for
Vince
that.
just watched this episode last week and went, yeah, like
Leif Erikson Day.
So wait.
Hinga dinga durgan.
So wait a second. Okay,
I need the hing.
so
I know I do need to
That's
get
great.
I just need somebody to lay this out for me as plainly as possible.
that. Okay.
Wasn't Al Snow Leif Erikson?
That was Leif Cassidy.
Leif Cassidy?
Not the same. So the War Raiders.
Hinga dinga durgan.
I fucking
The
love it.
War Raiders
I think okay.
and the Viking Experience
I think that's a necessity
the
every
s-
time we say Viking
are the
Experience.
same.
Hinga dinga durgan.
I believe they are. They have the same look and the same tattoos.
Yes.
Tattoos, you said.
Yes.
Tattoos.
But they're
Yeah.
not even
He
the
plain, bossy plain.
like they're not
Like-
even like the same name. Like
But it's not Rowe and Hansen either.
Right, because Rowe is obviously too close to Rowan
Right, who's
on SmackDown.
on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But it's too close to Roman.
Who's also on SmackDown.
But we still
No,
have
we
to
didn't
change
know
it
that on Monday.
And then Hanson.
Fair.
Hanson is too close.
to the 3 girls from Canada.
Yeah.
That band.
Boppers.
Yeah. The Boppers.
Like, here's the thing. Like,
Don't they do the pose like this? The Boppers?
Yes.
like
It's all the same.
Like, I know over like when they take Andrade Cien Almas and make him Andrade and make Mustafa Ali into Ali.
Mustafa.
You
The
know,
way Jim Ross would say it.
yeah,
Mustafa.
no, what's his face? Nigel called
Nigel-
him
Nigel-
Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali. Yeah.
And when Ricochet just becomes Irish wrestling sensation O'Shea.
Right.
Rebound.
And when Aleister Black just becomes Black.
So like
Hinger dinger dinger.
That's where we're at tonight, folks.
So like I know I often say it doesn't matter, and people get too riled up about name changes or anything like that. And I will preface this that I will try and spit shine this a tad, but there's no point to making them the fucking Viking Experience.
Yeah, that sounds like something like if you are a Minnesota Viking fan, you go to the arena or the
Like,
stadium,
that is the
and you
Viking
get the
experience.
Viking experience, and you get to go to the locker room and like
Right. It's
I don't
some
know.
sort of VIP package you buy in Minnesota.
Right.
Like it's not.
That's the Viking
It's not
experience.
It's not a tag team. Yes, Tim.
So now that I've gotten all of my trolling out of the way,
Okay.
I know way more about this team being named the Viking Experience than I ever did of them being War Raiders. Let's be honest.
Because everybody's talking
Let's
about
be
it.
honest. We were all pooping really hard when we saw the name War Raiders. Because it's War Machine.
Right.
Correct.
Everybody
And-
freaked out when they were no longer War Machine.
And they're the war because literally, what's a War Raider? Okay, like, be completely honest. Is Viking Experience
Oops.
is that the most generic name for 2 Viking ass white dudes you've ever seen? Yes. But okay. Yeah, it's a very boring name. But I know way more about that team as the Viking Experience.
It's because everybody's talking about it.
Horn me.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Warn me.
The horns, Tony.
Come on. But it's right because everybody's talking about it.
But even then, like if
Cousin
somebody,
Brian's a Viking fan.
But
He'd buy the Viking
literally,
experience.
literally, if somebody says Viking Experience, you're gonna know in your head what that guy, whoever the Viking Experience is, you know what they look like.
if you hate this sound, your
Boy.
team's either gotten their asses kicked by
here's-
the Minnesota Vikings or you're watching 3 Count Thursday.
Exactly, because this is the new. I'm just looking for any sound clip that's gonna get rid of me eating a whole word at the same time.
It might be that SpongeBob clip. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Dinger.
Like, here's the thing. And I said this on Tuesday, and I meant it, and I'll say it again, that this does not kill this team.
Yeah, because they literally like stomped out the tag champs, right?
But like, it's all about booking.
Yeah.
It really is. And because here's the deal. Everybody that hates the Viking Experience, if this team is booked the way they should be booked, people are going to be buying up their Viking Experience t-shirts. People are going to, nobody's going to give a shit that that's what they're called.
What were they called again?
The Viking Experience.
Now, you do know that they're probably going to brand this team, and I'm not taking credit for this. This is coming from someone much smarter than me, a.k.a. my best friend in the whole world. They are VX.
Are you serious?
Watch them be branded as
oh
VX.
my God.
And if they're VX, and
They're-
there's
they're-
VX shirts everywhere,
It's
Game
this
over.
Thing, this thing's on.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
But again,
Son of a bitch, it is.
But,
It
but anyway,
absolutely is.
it comes down to booking. If the team's booked properly, everybody that complained about the name isn't going to complain about the name anymore.
Right.
Man, they just came off of having like a match of the year candidate tag team match at TakeOver. They show up 2 weeks later on Raw as the Viking experience. There's no need to do it, though.
Don't cut the name off.
Like,
Let us get the full...
We're all in agreement that there was no need
Absolutely
to do it.
no need to do it.
Now, did you guys see what they were gonna call the team?
The Berserkers.
Which is horrible.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Was that for real?
They were the Berserkers literally minutes before Raw went on the air.
You know what?
And then
If they just came out,
somewhere-
"Husk," I'd have been okay with it, actually.
Nah, man.
No, they probably changed that because I'm pretty sure the Berserker just got arrested over the weekend.
Nice.
If that's the case,
I think.
thank God.
I think he got.
Did
I
he
wanna
stab a
say it was-
sword through something?
Now let's go back in the history books. Is there any wrestler
No,
looking
Scotty,
at
the
it,
Berserkers is not way better. Stop
looking
it.
at it today that you would go back and change, like their name?
Akeem the African Dream.
Like, would you call him like the African Dream Experience? Like that's like I mean that's what I mean.
I
Like,
would change...
Skinner. You could change Skinner to like the Crocodile Experience.
I would literally I would change
Crikey,
because
sis.
I'm a WCW kid, so literally any gimmick of Brutus Beefcake in WCW, I would just turn into the Hulk Hogan's best friend experience.
Okay.
That's
so
fair.
you would not go with like the Sports Clip Experience for Brutus Beefcake.
No,
Okay, so you would just direct right. You're only here because you're my friend.
yeah, like
In
Hulk
WCW.
Hogan's best friend experience.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it's it. You know what I
And
mean?
Jimmy Hart could get renamed as Hulk Hogan's Weed Guy Experience.
Hey man,
Somebody's got to hold the bag.
That's true.
Oh wait,
Again, and yeah, Scotty reinforces the point is
what's in a name?
if they're booked properly, the name does not matter. If they're not booked properly, the name still doesn't matter because, if this team is not booked properly, nobody's going to bitch about the name because we're going to be bitching about how improperly they're being used.
the tow truck driver experience
Right.
better than Repo Man.
Well, yeah.
Yo, Repo Man was legit.
The
when
big
he
rig
started.
experience better than Diesel.
Ain't nothing better than Big Daddy Cool. Okay, so we saw who went from SmackDown or NXT to Raw.
All right,
So
I feel like you were sitting on Raw thinking, "Holy shit,
like Raw
is loaded stack."
and
who's
who's on SmackDown?
Who out of those is your best acquisition for Monday Night Raw?
Andrade, Cien, Almas, or just Andrade.
Thank you.
I believe has a just tons of fresh matchups, and I could see him accelerating to a mid card, maybe a mid title championship that brand no longer has.
Oh wait,
Oh, that's right.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with the Usos. Same reasons. There's so many fresh matchups now on Raw for them. They got the Revival. They've got Kurt Hawkins and the Broski. They've got when the Daddies of Pain come back. They're going to be great. They've got
The Viking experience.
they got VX. They've got. I think if we just start saying VX and we just will it into existence.
I'm fine to still calling them War Raiders and willing that into existence.
Sure. Okay.
I'm still fine calling him War Machine. We all know who the hell we're all talking about.
Two white dudes. Two white guys doing white stuff. Viking
Isn't that-
experience.
Oh, that's.
Not
I thought
to,
that was.
not to be confused with two black guys.
Yes, not to be confused with that.
One is black. The other guy's name is black. Two black guys.
Because they don't need to merge the tag divisions together, Scotty. That's why they don't do it. They
That's-
could do
I
it, but
agree.
they
I
don't
don't
need
think you
to.
have to.
Again, it comes down to booking. There's more than enough tag teams or people on the roster to make tag teams as well, because that's the
Yeah.
cool thing to do.
like-
that you don't need to merge tag team divisions.
Who is the Raw Tag Team Champions right now, Jim?
Really, we were doing
I'm
good.
sorry, we
for
were doing good.
Half an hour.
Hawkins and the Broski.
It wasn't even a Capitals joke. What the fuck?
Anyhow, Scotty says Andrade.
I think Andrade's the right answer.
I think I like the Miz moving over there. I think this is the year that the Miz could get big boy gold again, and deserves to get big boy gold again.
Tough.
Scotty, I mean, I don't have the SmackDown tag team roster in front of me, but there's plenty of teams and plenty of people you can make teams with over on SmackDown.
SmackDown tag team roster, we have The Bar, we have Rusev and Nakamura, we have the Good Brothers, we have the Colons, we have the New Day still,
Heavy Machinery,
Heavy Mac Daddies,
Heavy Mac Daddies.
Um,
And I'm sure we're gonna like get one combined here.
possibly.
Just, I mean, like Apollo Crews shipped over, that would be a tag team opportunity.
Let's look
So
now.
who's on SmackDown?
Let's look at the Ryan. Which brand did Nicholas end up on? Cousin Brian wants to know.
Nicholas ended up on. Shut your mouth.
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
Yikes.
I don't even have control of that. Thank you, Jim.
SmackDown Live gets
And I like Cousin Brian.
Heavy Machinery,
Heavy Mac Daddies.
the Mickey James,
Oh yes, yeah.
Apollo Crews,
Can't lose.
Chad Gable,
Oh, I forgot we got Chatty.
Yeah.
Is he separated from Cool Dad Bob Roode?
yeah, Cool
Yeah.
Dad Bob Roode is still on Raw, which I am so happy about. Like the SmackDown, the Superstar Shakeup did everything right because that tag team is no longer in
Amen.
existence.
Now I'm so sad because one of my favorite games in the world to play was a game called Cool Dad.
Yes,
Where anytime,
you did.
Anytime you saw Chad Gable and Bob Roode show up on screen together, you had to come up with whatever the episode of Cool Dad was at that time. And the best one I ever heard was my roommate's girlfriend say, "Today on Cool Dad, Bob and his son Chad go to Lowe's to pick out a grill." Bob! It was so great.
That's
I feel
solid.
like that story has been told at least 3 or 4 times on the show.
I think so.
Hey,
I think
but
so.
but I
I
don't
mean,
know.
and I'm excited for you.
also don't know whose first time it is on
That's
the
fair.
show.
We have some first
That's
timers on
fair.
the show
That's
today.
fair.
It's called a callback for a reason.
Oh, is that what it is?
Fair enough.
Okay, it sounds like
Liv Morgan moves to SmackDown Live.
yes.
Question mark?
Buddy Murphy
Murph Dog.
moves to SmackDown Live. Lars Sullivan officially a part of SmackDown Live.
Okay.
After he was on
Officially a
Raw,
part of
officially
Raw.
a part of Raw, which, by the rules and standards of the Superstar Shakeup, is a thing that can
It
happen.
could happen.
Like, I mean, theoretically, somebody from SmackDown could go to Raw and then back to SmackDown.
That's correct.
And also, theoretically, 2 weeks from now, somebody from SmackDown could go to Raw because this is sports entertainment, like, not a fucking congressional law book, okay? Like, people need to remember that, by the way.
Jim.
You had to bring up Congress today?
What?
Yeah.
At this point, we're just all going to be on wind.
I mean, anything literally could happen. That makes me think of that video.
I love that video. That's so great.
I gotta find it now.
I know a lot about wind.
You know what we were talking about, right? The
roller coaster,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that's hilarious. Billy Corgan
Let's
rides a roller
continue.
coaster.
Kyrie Sane
It's a big
to
acquisition.
SmackDown
It's a big
Live,
one.
and now apparently in a team with Asuka, managed by Paige.
Page.
That's exciting.
Yep.
Ember Moon to SmackDown Live. Bailey to SmackDown Live.
I'm not
as-
a tag team. Don't look at my ratchet best friend, Sasha.
Yes, please don't talk about my best friend who we don't want to talk about.
She makes bad life choices. I like merch money.
That's the truth.
Then you had the Intercontinental Champion,
Balor
Finn
Club.
Balor.
Balor and his club showed up. That was
And
really
his-
cool.
Is that what we're
That
called?
was the first one,
That's
right?
what I
That was
call
the
it.
That's
first.
what Balor and his club. Fair enough.
Anytime he does the whole on the ropes thing, I'm like Balor Club. Yeah,
Balor and his club.
Balor Club.
Oh, it's his dong.
Yeah, there you go.
And Balor Club is for everyone.
The biggest acquisition in the history of SmackDown Live.
Is the Balor Club. Did you see it? The blue.
The blue.
So vascular. It's so veiny.
Oh my God.
Striation. Yeah. It almost gives me a Viking experience. so horny. The Viking experience.
Elias
Ding.
to SmackDown Live.
And then that was it, right? Vince McMahon announced that the biggest acquisition in the history of SmackDown and sports entertainment was going to happen, and then Elias came out, and then SmackDown went off the air, right?
Let me tell you, I was disappointed because he didn't hit the strum correctly. Like he fumbled like the first two strings or something.
He's like, Elias! Ding! Ding-a-ding-a-ding! That was him hitting the string.
And then,
But no, then nothing happened.
big dog.
We don't have to hear that anymore, except for
ooh-ah man.
pay-per-views. And I think he switches for pay-per-views.
Yeah,
so I'm fine
yeah.
with that.
The ooh-ah man's here.
Roman Reigns now.
Roman Reigns.
He's got a big mouth.
Ooh-ah!
Reigns, the guy with the biggest pecs. Roman Reigns, the guy who has lots of sex. Roman Reigns, the guy with the wettest hair. Roman Reigns, the guy who just doesn't care. Roman Reigns, the guy with a lot of...
Apparently people didn't like that that Vince was saying all of those big things and then it was just Elias. It was almost as if they wanted a good reaction when Roman's music hit. It's almost
impossible, Jim.
That's almost
people hate Roman Reigns.
No, people hate cancer. Therefore, they love Roman Reigns.
You were at WrestleMania.
Yeah. We were doing the wave so much I couldn't watch the match.
Iffy.
It's more than iffy, brother. Like the he beat cancer rub is already off of Roman Reigns. It's unfortunate to say. I'll say it right here on 3 Count Thursday.
Hey, officially.
It's officially off.
Ride a roller coaster with us.
Oh, that was
cut it
the
off?
one.
son of a bit. That's my day in a nutshell.
Type in Billy Corgan. There it is.
Take two.
See, I remember this one because it doesn't have any words.
the word, yeah.
And then we get right to the point. Hey, roller coaster time. Hands up, guys.
I love a
Perfect.
good roller coaster.
I don't. That's about the most roller coastering I'm going to do ever.
Yeah. I did one once.
Yeah, Jim's not a roller coaster guy.
Dude, we did that in perfect unison, by the way.
I mean, we're a show. We're professionals.
We are professionals here, folks. We went to Hershey Park, Jim and I. We were walking around, and we went on the Wildcat. And if anybody's been to Hershey Park, that's a rickety ass roller coaster.
Heck yeah!
Like it will beat the shit out of you.
And
I told Jim, I said, this roller coaster is probably one of the better ones because it doesn't go down like a straight hill; it goes down on this banked hill, and it turns around. Apparently, I have never heard a sound come out of Big Jim's body like that. Like I'm always like a hands up guy. I fucking love roller
did
coasters.
It sound a little something?
I have to.
Like...
I'm gonna remove this. It was.
Yeah,
Old Papa Bear got a little upset.
Way down here in his fucking chest, this
It
thing
was,
came out.
I feel bad for anybody who tuned in just at that moment.
He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
Heard that sound from Jim, and I was laughing so fucking hard, at Jim's misfortune.
Like it was.
It does. The coaster beats the shit out of it.
It was a scream. It was a scream, but it came from my gut.
It was deep.
It was a deep gut
You
scream.
were playing the didgeridoo.
I've never. That's exactly what it sounded like.
Dude, it was bad. And like
if you were to play a didgeridoo and crank the bass up, that's exactly
and of course,
what it sounded like.
You know, Ryan being the great friend that he is, he's like, let's sit in the back. That's like where it's the easiest part of the ride too.
Right, so you don't see the hill.
Yeah.
Which you did no, because it pulls you and you get jerked around.
You know why I didn't see the hill? Because the first hill on the goddamn Wildcat is a curved hill.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're wrapping around,
Because at some point you're going to start going down. You're going to see that the track is gone.
But the velocity of the coaster pulls you back a little harder on the back.
Oh,
the back
yeah.
of
I felt it. And then...
yeah,
that's
I'm a
and that's when
guy.
he swallowed his entire tongue.
It was something else.
And then...
we should have bought the picture.
And then...
You should have bought the picture.
Should have bought the picture.
Jim, not knowing, because he's never rode on a roller coaster, puts his favorite hat between his knees. And at one point, of course, your knees kind of pop open. Yeah, it was like four... At least it stayed in the cart somehow,
Yeah.
4 seats ahead of us.
It did.
So I did get to keep the hat.
So I have a roller coaster
I
story
mean, truth
about
be
a hat.
told, neither of us were fucking popping out of that car. Like,
No.
they had to pry us in with a pry bar. Like,
So I've ridden a roller coaster before. I made sure I did mine out of state. I went to Six Flags over Georgia, and I rode the Great American Scream
Georgia?
Coaster. Big wooden roller coaster, pretty much like the Wildcat, except it's got a big old drop. And I'm regretting
Big
life.
old drop.
I'm regretting life going up the hill because I'm like, oh no. I know the rules. What goes up must come down. So we're coming down, and my youth pastor at the time, he's sitting next to me, and he is just loving. He's loving every bit of it. He thinks this is great, and I'm like, this is the worst. And so we're going, and he puts his hands up, and he is wearing a hat, and the hat flies off of his
In
head.
your face?
No,
Oh.
It was the best thing I'd ever seen in my whole life. He literally hands up. He feels his hat come off. I see his eyes go, ooh, and reached up and just snagged it out of the air
sir.
and like held it. He's
Wow.
like, and he looks at me and without missing a beat goes, "Oh, that was close." Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
He was a ninja. A ninja.
What's the roller coaster at Hershey Park
The Viking experience.
where it shoots you, launches you out?
the oh my god, I just had it. It's not a Great Bear. That's the
Outer
one that
Limits.
It's like the
Lightning Racer. Nope, that's the
No,
that's the
that's the
other
other
one.
wooden
Let
one.
me name the coasters. Lightning Racer. You have Fahrenheit, which is the new one. Storm Runner.
Yes,
Yes,
Storm Runner.
the red and yellow one.
It's the one that like they have the little message playing at the beginning. That's
Have
like,
you been to Hershey lately?
I have not been lately, but I know intern Mark has.
Thank you, Robert. You-
Or
you
the Storm
confirmed
Runner. Is that
Storm
what
Runner.
it said?
Storm Runner.
Yes, thank you, Robert.
But it has the little thing at the beginning that says like, make sure your head's back because
it doesn't say that. There's a sign that says that.
No. They used to.
Oh,
they
no.
used to have a thing. At
I
the
think
beginning.
it wheels you out, and then you hear like this. And the cart starts rolling
it used to-
backward.
it had a thing because that's what made the story even funnier. Is I'm standing there and I think my girlfriend at the time was going on the ride, and Big Jim's a big pussy, so he's not going on the ride.
Yikes.
And I'm watching this guy, and he's just totally ignoring the whole make sure no belongings, whatever, and keep your head back because it's gonna launch you very fast or whatever it said. And this guy's like totally ignoring the whole thing. He's like looking down at his wife, waving to his wife, and this thing goes. You hear the it like buzzes, and I watch this guy's head bounce 3 times off of the back of the seat of this fucking roller coaster because it launched so fast. But yeah, that was amusing.
It says, "Now get ready. Here we go," and it launches in between the word "we" and "go."
Well, they must have changed. They had to have changed it because they did play like a warning thing.
Oh, yeah.
At the beginning. Now I guess they just have a sign.
Here it is. Oh.
Now get ready. Here we go.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the voice of death, and then just launches you. I think it's 0 to like 75 or something like that. Fun ride.
Fun thing, that's actually the
ride.
first words you hear in the theme of the new Hot Raw tag team, the Viking experience.
Now get ready. Here we go. Scotty says Six Flags has a coaster that's in the dark. I know, like Knoebels has something very similar to that. It's not a roller coaster; it's more of like a dark ride, but it is a roller coaster format.
Yeah, so there's roller coasters. I'm originally from Virginia. Didn't know if you knew that. Huzzah! Yeah, we got a bunch of amusement parks, and we have like in the dark rides called like the Outer Limits and stuff like that, which is like an in the dark enclosed ride. It's not like a 3D ride.
Have you been to like Knoebels?
I've never been.
We have to take Tim to Knoebels. A
Knoebel-
3-count Thursday outing to Knoebels.
That does need to be a thing.
They
that
have a
happens.
haunted house. It is the
can we
greatest.
can we do a team building retreat?
They have like a cabin you can rent up there, like in camp there.
We have to do this before the baby comes.
I'm not having a baby.
Are you sure?
I'm growing, but I don't. When is the baby due?
I don't know.
I don't know. We have to. We're not good. Scott, I do enjoy log flumes. Yes,
You
can wet your pants.
tough. I like good lazy rivers. I like there's Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia.
The
and
Canyon
there's
River Rapids.
The Roman Rapids.
Or the Roman Rapids.
And it just is a spinny deal, and you just get drenched.
Yeah. Hershey had one.
Yeah, and they took him
Took it
away.
out for the boardwalk.
Jerks.
Yeah, bullshit.
It's
Overrated
not fun.
boardwalk.
So who won the draft?
Raw. Without question.
Really?
Yes.
Well, the SmackDown Women's Division won.
Maybe.
I mean, absolutely.
Like, seriously, who's left on the Raw Women's Division?
Lacey, Natalia, Becky.
Becky's both.
Becky's both.
I love the old Becky Two Belts thing. I love that
Becky
too.
Two Belts is great.
Ruby, Sarah Logan, Alicia Fox,
Yeah, they're
Nia
loaded.
Jax, Tamana.
Well, Nia Jax is on the shelf for probably close to a year.
Right, that's fine.
Just-
What happened to Cheat?
Who else is on Raw?
ACLs.
Is that
Dick
what it
Dana
was? Two
Brooke.
ACLs? It's Dana's time to shine.
It is.
It is
She's
Dana's time to shine. I agree with you there.
Mark my words, she's going to be like the breakout Raw star.
Don't forget about Sasha Banks.
I think I said Sasha.
Did you say
Yeah.
If she shows up.
Angry Banks?
Bank failure.
Angry Bangs. Because they go.
Speaking of
Bank loan.
Cousin Bryan says Outer Limits thrashes your head against the restraints until you're concussed. So that sounds like
Nice.
a real banger.
No, I think
How
SmackDown's...
did SmackDown win? They lost their top tag team. They lost
No,
two main
I
eventers.
didn't say SmackDown won.
Okay,
I said
all right.
SmackDown's Women Division
Okay.
won. But overall, Raw won, and it's not really that close.
It's not close.
It absolutely is. You guys couldn't be wronger.
Are you sure?
The biggest name in the business right now is
Are you
probably
sure about
Roman
that?
Reigns.
Okay. That's
SmackDown.
one dude.
One guy.
One guy.
Elias, who is arguably one of the most over guys in the WWE,
Okay.
is now on SmackDown.
Gimmick.
They're women over
Over,
or
yes.
not over.
Sure.
Their women's roster is significantly better now. Significantly.
Yeah. Compared to where it was, yes.
They also have the two middle championships.
For now.
In Finn
All right,
Balor.
For now.
What happens there? Like, what...
I bet you Nickel Samoa Joe shows up on Raw on Monday.
But how can he do that? The shakeup's over, Tim.
No, see.
Hey,
This
wrestling
isn't
guy
isn't
on Twitter
this
told
isn't
me...
congressional law, Jim. If Samoan Joe wants to just show up wherever he wants with
Samoa Joe.
Samoan Joe,
Joey Samoa.
Joey Head Rocker,
No. Samoan Joe is already on SmackDown.
the Ooh Man,
Right.
Right.
That's
Samoa
right.
Joe is the U.S. champion.
Okay, might be.
Samoan Dance Troupe Joe.
Oh, hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. Oh, hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Where do I... Oh, shit. I don't know where that one is. Oh, there it is.
Oh, hi, Mark.
But yeah, like Joey Samoa goes over to Raw.
The same argument for the Superstar shakeup and the Hall of Fame can be made. Like, let's not take it too seriously in the sense that, like...
Wait, the Hall of Fame? We can't take the Hall of Fame seriously?
I mean, probably shouldn't. It's
Why?
more of like a disclaimer. I'm not telling you what to do because I don't think I should.
I feel like you're trying to slight the name of Coco Beware and Bertie the Barbie.
I shouldn't tell people what to do, and so I'm not going to do that.
That's your whole shtick on social media, Jim.
His boy is in the Hall of Fame twice.
Right.
And he's like, well, he got tackled this time, so don't take it seriously, folks.
No. What I mean is like people get too wrapped up in who's in, who's not in, when people get in, etc. Same as people get too wrapped up in, so and so didn't get moved on the Superstar shakeup. This is bullshit, or that. They could literally move anybody at any time.
Are either of you guys upset that somebody didn't get moved? Is there a glaring omission where you're like, they should have moved them?
No, I don't think so. I'm
SmackDown?
a little surprised that they didn't move Brock. I do think Brock will be SmackDown bound come October.
I hope that he is nowhere bound.
Okay.
Ever.
if he is still involved in the WWE product, which you probably will be after he fights in the UFC this summer, I think he ends up on SmackDown because of the tie-in with Fox and trying to get big names there.
Sure. I'm very shocked that Liv Morgan is separated from the Riot Squad.
So that's your.
I'm not a fan of that. I think that they're better together. I think they're better as a trio.
So
like splitting them up is.
You don't think having the two of them was holding Ruby back?
No,
because you know she can go. You've seen her like on the indie. You know the talent
that
is.
But so can
Ruby Riot.
But so can Sarah Logan.
Oh, correct.
Yeah. Like if anything, this is a good chance for Liv. I mean, it's. I think it's encouraging for Liv's career that the WWE thinks that she is the solo star out of the group, and now she has been given carte blanche to kind of go and do the same gimmick Carmella's doing on SmackDown. That's really great.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay.
I feel like that was just loaded with sarcasm.
It is.
Okay.
But I think the WWE sees something in Liv Morgan.
Yeah, she's blonde and has a blue tongue and has that sex appeal that they want.
It's gonna be up to Liv to deliver. I think she can.
Does she have pink hair, or did she change back to blonde?
I think it's pink blonde hair, blue tongue.
Yeah, something
definitely
like
blue
that.
tongue.
I lose track of the hair color,
Right.
tongue color. So they did break up some tag teams. Obviously, Cool Dad Bob Roode and Chad Gable.
Thank Lord.
You broke up Sanity. Which isn't one of the Sanity guys leaving or going back to NXT? I know
there's talks. There's nothing confirmed. He's still under contract for a while.
We're talking about Wolf or
Alexander Wolf.
He did kind of say like in a tweet he did say goodbye WWE, so that could maybe lead itself to a
NXT or an
bound.
NXT UK because he is from the United Kingdom.
I'd
he
be
could
all
go
in.
to the UK. Here's a glaring omission from either brand. Nikki Cross is still unbranded.
I think we want you to forget about her for a little.
What if
while.
she's the doll to Bray Wyatt's buzzard puppet?
I thought that was Paige.
Paige here.
Paige here. I don't want Nikki Cross with Bray Wyatt.
Well, I'm not saying you want that, but
I don't want to speak it into existence.
Well, too late.
Let me catch up on some of these things.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Scott says the Raw mid card is trash.
Not really when you
think
have
SmackDown's is
Andrade
better.
and Rey Mysterio now in the mid card.
Mysterio's how old?
Mysterio
63.
Yeah, and he's been putting on
I mean,
bangers.
technically EC3 would be in the mid card.
He's in the middle of that stage, is
Isn't
what
that
he is. Braun
lower of that
Strowman's in
middle
the mid card.
unfortunately. Braun Strowman is correct.
yeah.
He's probably the upper mid card, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah, the mid card for Raw is not. There's no trash anywhere on Raw.
Let's get technical. If you're not in a main event like match or feud, you
Correct.
are in the
You're
mid card. So
That's fair. Robert wants to know if we liked the Northern Tier show. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. We thank the guys for letting us be the
man,
the GMs.
I gotta apologize to Red Scorpion again. Like I really thought that making that a no disqualification match was a good idea.
Yeah. Man, there's power in numbers, though. Weinberg bought his way out of that and bamboozled everybody. That's what Weinberg does. Scott says, bring back the draft. It's been a while. Why don't we redraft? That'd be kind of fun.
Because there's no general managers, so who's drafting what?
But I mean,
But we're drafting him because we're the authority.
But isn't this
we could draft.
this is basically the draft though?
It is the draft.
Because anybody could move. Like there's no set number of moves. So you're just moving the parts that you want to end up on a different show.
Right. But it's not the draft.
Because
right, draft is everybody in a pool and then you pick sides.
Well,
shirts and skins.
Well, the way that the draft was done before.
I thought that was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Near
There for
the
a second,
end,
and then I realized what it was.
Near the end of the last iterations of the draft, brands would wrestle for like draft picks, and then it would be a randomized selection that would go.
Okay.
But
There's thoughts there.
This is the draft. Because the pieces that they want to switch shows, and the pieces that don't would just get drafted back to the show that they're on. So this is the draft.
Scott says that he thinks Corbin should have went to SmackDown.
I would have been okay with that.
Who gives a shit about Bork? Bryan thinks the Riot Squad entrance where they smack the ring apron in unison is weird and dumb. I kind of agree with that. I don't love it. It's something different, but it's unnecessary.
But you know that because it's the Riot Squad, so it's
right.
memorable.
It's something that sets them apart. It's Melina's entrance. It's
Melina's entrance was hot as shit.
You know what I mean? But it's
right. Flair does her little cartwheel.
Right.
Split.
Anybody who has something different, you remember it as theirs.
Liv and Carmella as a tag team?
No thanks.
Could it happen though?
Probably because it's WWE and anything can happen in the World Wrestling.
Well, and you need women's tag teams,
right? I agree. Somebody battle the Iconics,
the two Conics.
Brian says Ricochet and Aleister Black, now known as the Somersault Experience. So you got that there. With a boinging sound effect.
They should
Somersault Experience.
They should be singles competitors.
I think so.
Do you know who else I'm very excited for to have a brand now? Murph Dog, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Buddy Murphy on SmackDown is going to fit so well, and also Cedric Alexander on Raw.
Amen.
It's good to see WWE actually pulling out some of those cruiserweight guys and giving them shots on the main roster in a world in which cruiserweight doesn't exist.
In a world. Do you think this is, it's slowly introducing these guys into the main roster product is a way to kind of dissolve 205 Live and just make the cruiserweights part of the programming?
I hope not.
I think they have a lot of wrestlers of that size and style that removing 2 or 3 of them is not going to hurt you right now.
So this is
that Umberto guy is fantastic.
Umberto Carrillo.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You're a real young looking guy.
Yeah. He's like 22, 21.
Yeah, I think he wrestled under a mask.
Yeah.
In Mexico for a while. There's a lot of Strickland just got signed.
Yep, Swerve.
Sheeta. I think you could find him on that roster.
You got ACH too. Here's my
There's
thing.
a ton of people there.
Here's my problem.
Here's Tim's problem.
Nicholas is under 205.
Right. My issue is that when you have a cruiserweight division, it really like handicaps where a talent can go. So it wasn't like, I feel like when you get the stink, and I don't want to say the word stink as a negative, but like when you're labeled a cruiserweight guy and you're in that 205 brand, the only way you're going to ever be not that is when you're not that.
So wouldn't that be a reason to remove the 205 brand?
But don't make them cruiserweights.
And have a cruiserweight title. Have a cruiserweight title, but have them compete against more than just cruiserweights.
That's fine, but here's the problem. Aside from Rey Mysterio, name one cruiserweight who went on to be a main event player. Name one.
You can't, but
okay.
No. But we can't correct the past. You can only do things better. Because Kofi's under 205, right?
I don't think so. I think he's
him
billed
just
as
above.
higher.
So he's under 205.
But he's not announced.
But again, like
Daniel Bryan's not announced at under 205.
Like they're getting creative with weights because you're
Kofi is tall, so that he could easily be over 205.
What's he billed at?
Kofi's billed at 6 foot. I know that.
211. I think.
Oh, he's way over.
212. He's billed at
212.
He's literally 7 pounds over cruiserweight, and that's
Correct.
your WWE champion.
Right.
So, here's the thing: if you dissolve the 205 Live as the only place where these guys can be, unless they randomly get thrown onto the roster after 3 years of being on the purple group, and actually book them against main roster superstars.
That's fine.
And make them look credible. They can still compete for the cruiserweight title, but maybe here and there they compete for the U.S. title. Maybe here and there they compete for the Intercontinental title. What does Finn Balor weigh? He can't be much more than 210.
Right.
I would think Balor is under 205.
But to me,
I mean, then you got to remember that his club, so you got to factor that in.
Well, yeah, you don't weigh the club.
I'm looking at this as the way the WWE would
the
look.
Club might be 205.
The way the WWE would look at it. See, in WCW, cruiserweights could go and compete for the TV title and the U.S. title, but the only cruiserweight really in WWE or WCW that got elevated to a main event level was Billy Kidman.
That was exactly what I was thinking. Was Kidman.
And then Raw or WWE, it was Rey Mysterio.
Correct.
But Eddie Guerrero used to be a cruiserweight, and then he sized out of the cruiserweight division. Chris Benoit was a cruiserweight, and he sized out of the cruiserweight division. Chris Jericho was a cruiserweight, and he sized out of the cruiserweight division, and they never went back. So, like, they all started as cruiserweights, and then once they made the jump to the U.S. title, the TV title, things like that, they never went back because there is a stigma about, or at least there was, and there still is, because the fans are still the same and the brain trust is still the same. Like, being small is definitely tougher. So I think when you put the name cruiserweight on it, it immediately classes them as not world champion.
Right.
So
physically less than.
Physically
Correct.
less than the world champion, as opposed to an Intercontinental title or anything. Now,
who was the highest profile wrestler that we've had on 205 Live? Was it Austin Aries?
Austin Aries, Neville.
Would you put any of those two guys as people that were like broke out?
No, because Neville broke out before 205.
Correct.
And like
that's same thing with Enzo. Like Enzo was more popular as the tag team and then put to 205 Live
because there was nowhere else for him.
Correct.
And like, unfortunately,
how you doing?
205 Live is the reason why Austin Aries wanted to go, and Neville wanted to go.
Yep.
Because the highest they were ever going to be is cruiserweight champion, and that's a great spot.
Totally agree.
Especially for a lot of these first breaking out NXT talents that just want to get a spot, and those cruiserweight contracts. I don't want to go too inside baseball, but those cruiserweight contracts are really dope.
Good.
Like the cruiserweight deals are really nice,
Good.
And they give a lot of freedom.
Right. Great.
And
they
so
should.
Yeah, they do. So
I feel bad a bit for like Mike Kanellis.
I feel bad for Mike Kanellis. I feel bad for Drew Gulak. I feel bad for the Brian Kendrick.
I don't feel bad for Mike Kanellis because Maria Kanellis.
True.
Yay. Fair.
And like,
I take it all back.
And again, like, to feel bad.
I don't see feel bad like where he was in Ring of Honor, and like just he couldn't find his footing in the WWE,
but even
rehab
then,
and everything.
But even then, I bet you if you asked Mike Kanellis, I bet you if you asked anybody who made the jump from Ring of Honor to WWE, and you asked them, would you rather be in the main event of Ring of Honor or be the opener of a WWE show? Every single one of those guys are going to say, I want to be in the WWE.
I know what their bank account's going to say.
Which brings us to our next topic. Luke Harper is leaving the WWE, or has requested his release. And I don't fault him for this. That's not what I'm saying, but I'll get to a bigger point. On Tuesday night, he posted to his Twitter, as of this evening, I have requested a release from the WWE. The past 6 years have been a simply amazing journey around the world and back with lifelong friends and family. I'm proud of all of it. Proud to say I shared the ring with my co-workers. This decision, as difficult as it was, feels right for myself and WWE. My goal in the future is to continue to grow as a performer and person and continue to make my family proud. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom to the top of WWE. Thank you to the fans for your undying support. Thank you, everyone. So, obviously we have Dean Ambrose, if you don't believe it's kayfabe, is leaving. You have Sasha reportedly grumpy about something. You have Luke Harper leaving. You have what do we say? Killian Dane,
Alexander Wolf.
Well, Alexander Wolf,
right.
Potentially going to
I think
NXT,
Dane's gonna probably
potentially going to UK,
yeah.
potentially maybe leaving WWE. You have, there's other people reportedly unhappy. There's other people reportedly leaving, et cetera, et cetera. So of course, Twitter blowing up. Everybody's saying, WWE is this terrible place to work, and look at all these people that are unhappy, and this and that. The normal thing that happens when a couple of people choose to leave. And it's kind of bring up this question of what's going on at WWE? Why is everybody so unhappy? Why is everybody leaving? And the simple answer really is that they have a high profile place to potentially go. But here's the thing. Guys leave all the time. Contracts aren't renewed. People get unhappy. It's a job.
Yeah.
No matter how good the job is, how much of a dream job it is a job. At some point, wherever anybody works, people are going to get frustrated at their job, and you have multiple choices. You are miserable and stay there, you're miserable and leave, or you find a way to be happy and stay. Or you can just
be miserable,
probably walk away, or you can get fired. So it's a job. I know we like to look at the WWE as this magical land where happiness is and the boyhood dream becomes a reality. And yes, for some people that is the way it works, but for some people it's not great.
You also kind of have to look at this from Harper's perspective, and especially Harper. So Harper's 38 years old.
Yeah.
He's got less fuel in the tank than more.
Sure.
Like the tread on the tires is a little different.
He's had some significant injuries in the past couple of years.
Correct. So if he wants to, because I think at this point for Harper, it's more of the love of wrestling.
Right.
And he just wasn't being utilized in WWE.
Sure. Harper seems like a really smart guy that made really smart business decisions.
He is.
And really knows how to take care of his money.
Let's be honest here.
And
He's not at this point in his career a WWE champion or Universal champion.
But also he was at that level 2 years ago, and WWE balked on it. Because I would dare say that anybody was hotter than Luke Harper in that SmackDown run where Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt and him, he had that burner match with AJ Styles on SmackDown, and he was originally slated to be in the triple threat match between Randy and Bray and him for the WWE Championship.
I feel like he was the one that came
out.
out of nowhere, kind of like the Kofi Kingston spot this year, and the WWE just didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, but it's but I think it was like he was gonna have the trigger pulled, and then they balked. It wasn't like, because the talks were, and again, plans change, pal. I get it, I understand that, but Harper probably wants to wrestle, and he wants to wrestle his way.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And he's got a different. The phrase that goes around, I've said it numerous times, but the phrase that goes around is wrestling is much like ice cream, and everybody has their favorite flavor. And when you're in WWE, you're serving up a lot of the same flavor of ice cream. And a certain period of time, you want to add in some mix-ins, and you want to try something else. It's why Cody left. It's why Neville left. It's why Austin Aries left, because they got sick of the regular chocolate
Austin
vanilla
Aries
strawberries.
leaves a lot of companies.
He does.
That's true.
But those guys leave to play. Cody uses the expression playing his own music.
Yeah.
He wants to play his own music. And that's probably where Harper's at now. Harper's got 6 years of TV experience, which is super valuable to not just an up-and-coming a t-shirt company called AEW, but it's also, you want to know who that's really big for? Any indie that's on the Fight Network, any indie that's on Independent Wrestling TV Live, any indie that puts out any sort of productional stuff. Like, Harper can easily come in and give a short master's class on, hey boys, hard cam's right there. and like how to wrestle in front of cameras. It's way different when you're in front of a camera than when you're just in a regular house show. And any WWE wrestler will tell you that. You have to.
MLW still very young in their TV ventures would be a huge asset too.
Right. I mean, Harper's got connections in a lot of other indies right now. I mean, back when he was Brody Lee, he was a part of Chikara.
Thank you for, and it's not like he doesn't have a name outside of Luke Harper.
Right.
I think a lot of professional wrestling fans know Brody Lee.
And
Yeah.
forget,
The big rig, Brody Lee.
Right. Like, it's not like he doesn't have a name.
Right. But it's the bottom line is, and this isn't just about Luke Harper. This is about
anyone.
This is about a perception that just because there are people who are reportedly unhappy, people that are reportedly not going to be renewed at the end of their deal, people that because superstars aren't being booked the way that you would like them to be booked automatically means that superstar is unhappy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that there's something wrong at WWE. This is nothing. What is happening right now is nothing new. And like, obviously, Luke Harper had the potential, and whether they balked, whatever the reason was,
right,
why the plan changed. Like, here's the deal. With the exception of Dean Ambrose, right now, the people that are leaving or rumored to be leaving are probably, and this may come off as an unpopular statement.
Say it.
They are not a blip on WWE's radar that concerns them with the fact that they're going to go somewhere else.
Yep, and so this, I want to tie this into another topic that was a little hotter during WrestleMania build-up, and I think it would be good to tie this into the unhappiness. But the John Oliver piece about how wrestlers are independent contractors and how that
I was going to tie something back into that.
Wrestlers are being treated unfairly, and that they should be paid better, and this, that, and the third. And Jim, you really hit on it when you said you've got three options. You could be unhappy and leave, you could be unhappy and stay, or you can find a way to be happy. The good and bad of this is for every Luke Harper, for every Dean Ambrose, for every Sasha Banks, for every Neville, you're going to have 10 people lined up behind at least 10 lined up behind them, whether they're already in NXT, whether they're in NXT UK, or they're currently on the independents,
or they're just in the Performance Center.
Yeah, like it, or they're in the indies and they haven't been signed.
Yeah.
There's a line of people, and that line continually gets larger because now the WWE is reaching outside of the United States.
Right.
Those spots are coveted.
Yeah.
And whether you think that wrestlers get treated fairly or unfairly or poorly or not poorly, or whether or not wrestlers are able to express their art in the way they want to, that's fine for some. But there's a conga line.
Well, there's also going to be superstars like Mike and Maria Kanellis who have been ill-utilized since they've been back in the WWE, but they still bang the company drum. And like they're still part of the company. And whenever people, and I love following Mike on Twitter, because there are so many times people like try and be like, oh, WWE doesn't know how to use you. And they're like, he's like, dude, they have helped me so much get clean, and look at me now and look at how much better my life is because I was here. That's number one.
And he has whether or not you think about it or not, he has a featured spot regularly on a WWE Network exclusive brand. He's doing okay for himself. Yeah. He gets to travel on the road with his wife. They have a lovely baby. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. And I guess it's the difference between people.
Well, again, and I also don't want to confuse this with me saying that people aren't allowed to be frustrated with how a superstar is being booked. But like, you being frustrated is not the same thing as that superstar being unhappy. Because like you can be as frustrated as you want about how a superstar is being booked, but like, that doesn't mean that superstar is unhappy with their position or how they're like. I mean, here's the thing, and I go because we love Frank Boris, great guy. he's very frustrated with how the WWE is using EC3. To a degree, I am frustrated with how they're using
They're
EC3.
probably underutilizing him.
EC3 has so much potential. And, I mean, you saw his potential reach probably its peak, at least up to this point in his career, in his title runs in Impact.
Right.
But, like it or not, you know, even that spot where he's being thrown through the stage, yeah, that's not ideal for him. But it's still, he's on screen getting time with Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
That means something.
Because that could have literally been
anyone. But it was EC3.
Right, I agree. I don't think his spot is in trouble. But here's the deal, and if Sasha Banks wants to pack her shit and go home. That's fine.
That's her choice.
NXT's talented, and we could replace her.
Yeah.
The Performance Center. I mean, is Mia Yim still in the Performance Center? She's not on NXT yet. Like,
yes, she is.
Chelsea Green.
Mia Yim's on NXT.
Is she on NXT now? There are plenty of people in NXT.
There's going to be another Mae Young Classic this year that's going to be full of talent that are ready to come in and take spots.
Right there, and here's the deal: there are other places to go.
Sure,
especially now with AEW.
Yeah,
if you don't like the WWE,
once they become not a T-shirt company, there will be a place to wrestle.
Sure. I mean, they've run a show at least.
No.
Okay, AEW has not run a show.
Thank
the Bucks
you.
and Cody have run a show.
Right, we're about a little over a month. What, 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks?
If anybody needs to retool, it's probably Ring of Honor.
Amen to
so
that one.
There's options. People like Joey Ryan are proving that you can make it on the independent scene, not tied to a company, and still be very, very lucrative.
I mean, the indies are very lucrative. Like the indies are super hot right now because there's more exposure than ever in getting out, and it's because of things like Fight and because of things like independentwrestling.tv. Where
Wait, you're trying to tell me that the internet can do good? Come on.
I know.
Have you never seen porn?
Well, so you mentioned something about something that Matt Hardy had said.
Yes. Obviously, we know about the John Oliver comments on whatever that show is that he does.
Last night tonight.
Thank you. In an interview, I guess
last week tonight.
In response to the comments, Matt Hardy, in an interview with FoxNews.com, commented on John Oliver's criticism towards WWE. He said, "When I first started here, the locker room and everything was like the Wild West. The change that happened in those 20-plus years has been unreal. The drug testing is very stringent. You have to be here, you have to be good, and you have to be on top of your game. You have to be a professional. The physicals they do as far as cardiovascular and checking you over, there's been several guys that they have caught serious health issues that could have been life-threatening if they didn't catch it." And he said every surgery he's had, the WWE has paid for. They're very faithful, and they're very, very good about that. This is some of the stuff that John Oliver talked about was kind of passé and outdated because now they really do take care of wrestlers' health. They take care of everything, especially stuff that happens in-house. As far as the whole health insurance thing, that's kind of a different argument because we do a very different gig in many, many ways. But WWE has never done anything but be great to me. They've taken care of me in every capacity, every front, and they've given me a great life.
This is also a guy who, at one point, left the WWE to go serve his own flavor of ice cream.
Amen.
Very true.
And here's the thing.
So, and I would always look at Matt Hardy as a WWE guy.
Yeah, even when he was doing, like, the final deletion, he was still a WWE guy to me.
He was raising Impact to a different level because of the things and the ideas that he
was basically a WWE program within Impact.
It was a very kooky, hokey, like, fun angle.
And here's the thing.
Here's the deal. TNA at that time was paying him roughly $300,000 a year. If you can't find health insurance on like the market
and that's gonna be
and make $300,000 a year, like you're just not doing it.
One
right.
of the biggest
like it's not like you're
gripes in the John
part-timing-
Oliver thing was around the health insurance thing. And like here's the deal. Like, could WWE offer them health insurance? They absolutely could. But these superstars are being paid substantially enough that they can find and pay for their own health insurance. I know people who make a lot less than these superstars are making that have to go out and get their own.
And what's very different too, we have to look at this for what it is. So back in the 80s, in the early 90s, a lot of wrestlers who were wrestlers were failed athletes, were athletes who were they were football players, they were basketball players, they had injuries that stifled their careers. They were meatheads in a gym that, like, a promoter came up to him and said, "Hey kid, you got a great look. Come work for me. I'll give you the world." And so to them, it was a way to get paid. It was a way to get out there. The wrestlers of today, all they've wanted to do was be a wrestler.
That's true.
That's why the product is so good. Because with the exception of quite a small number of people, wrestling's all they've wanted to do. Braun Strowman's one that didn't really want to do wrestling and then got into it. Baron Corbin's one that didn't want to do wrestling and got into it. Roman Reigns is a guy who kind of fell into wrestling. Like the Usos.
Right. And
they have the family lineage and they took to it well. But it's like right now, the number of people on the roster who all they've wanted to do their entire life was be a wrestler is significant. I'll say this. The number of people who wanted to be a wrestler in the 80s is equal to the number of people who wanted to be a wrestler growing up today or didn't want to be a wrestler growing up today.
That's fair.
That's equal.
Fair. Yeah.
So.
And the bottom line is this, like, it's, you know, the WWE also takes care of their own and former their owns when they need help with personal problems, with substance problems. Like the WWE does a lot of things that because I don't think we really even talked about the John Oliver stuff much when it was hot, but
yeah, because it was a blip.
He
has a point, but it was wrapped in such a way.
He has a point to a degree, yes, but in the same time, he very much like a documentary filmmaker presented his side, and that's it. Like he did it well. It got a buzz. Didn't really affect the WWE. Their stock still went up that day.
Yep.
So,
have you seen WWE stock
it's
recently?
hot.
It's almost at $100.
Oh,
yeah, let me pull it up, see where it closed today.
Yeah, it's high.
We have Alexa on us. Is she on? You just ask our friend.
Oh no, she's off right now.
She's sleeping.
96.71. It was up a half a percent today.
Bad,
which the all-time high was what, 102? Like, come
right?
on. Like,
come on.
It's
come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, these things don't hurt them.
WWE's looking good. WWE's looking good.
They all right.
I'm just really excited. I'm excited to see where some of these talents shake out. I more so than you guys. I think that's fair to say. I follow the AEW stuff pretty religiously. Like anytime there's a road to Double or Nothing video, I'm watching it.
Yeah, I'll admit, like I'm not tuned in to being the elite and all of that stuff. I'm not, but
I'm pardon the pun. I'm all in on that. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait until they finally announce this TV deal. I'm stoked. Like I really can't wait. But part of me is because
it's gonna be a big deal.
I'm a Dusty kid. I grew up on WCW. Like I love Cody. I love what they're doing so far. They've got a really solid roster. There's promises that are being made by AEW that is different than WWE in regards to off seasons.
Yep.
And I mean, if they can change the wrestling world, which is kind of their mantra, they've got some young butt kickers in that group. I mean, And Janela's contract looks really good. Like, he's still going to be able to do his GCW stuff.
Right.
So, like,
Right.
it doesn't benefit them to, like, take these guys out of the indies.
I agree.
It's like, because
And
I don't
that'll
think,
only strengthen the indies.
because I think what they're going to do is they're not going to run house shows. They're just going to let the boys go out and be living billboards for AEW.
For AEW. Yep. Brilliant.
Yeah, and you know what I mean. It's all this stuff is good for the business, and it's only going to make things continue to be better.
Yeah, it's not like the the AAF or the XFL where having those football leagues is making it better for football. It's not, because the AAF is an embarrassment. I hope the XFL isn't an embarrassment.
I think there's less. Here's the thing: even if the XFL doesn't succeed past year one, it's not going to shut down the doors and have guys stranded in their home cities halfway through the first season.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
No, it's not. Like, guys,
That's what you get, little Ebersol boy, for trying to go to market first.
guys who literally get like, and guys who have to pay for their home flights every week. By the way, the team, like the league, doesn't fund their flights. Jesus. And then they show up at their hotel and their shit's in the lobby.
It's literally like pay for play. Like
People
you pay
people think
unreal.
the WNBA was bad.
Is that still a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much still a thing.
Fuck if I knew.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate that they don't make anything.
Lee made a good point here. He said, in turn, he hasn't heard of any current WWE talent that may be frustrated with their standing in WWE, be willing to be enough of a prick like HBK and others may have done in the past and propose something better for themselves. And again, like, maybe we just haven't heard it because it was behind closed doors if it happened.
Well,
but
the big... See, I'm going to kind of disagree to a certain degree, because literally the New Day is the most recent example of someone being Xavier. I mean, and we're talking multiple years ago, but Xavier's the case where Xavier basically was like, I want to do something with Big E and Kofi. Give me 4 weeks of television, and if it doesn't work, fire me.
Right. Okay. But yeah.
And like Xavier bet on himself. He bet that he could get this over.
I mean, worst case scenario, he goes back as Consequences Creed and he's fine.
Yeah. Or he does something else. He was
Right, or
going
does
to
something
school.
else, right.
He was going to school to be a doctor. Not a doctor, but get his doctorate in child psychology, I think.
I mean, who knows? Like, Hawkins and Ryder, is that like, was that always supposed to be the end game, or did like Zack Ryder be like, hey, like, you got this guy on a huge losing streak, let's change that at Mania, pair us up. You know, it's been done before. You just don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So I hope that like the doors are open, and if they're willing to take advice and roll the dice on some things, man, let's do it.
Yeah, either way, I think there's a lot.
Sure.
There's a lot of positives that are still out there, and I'm just gonna choose to be positive, man. Like, world's too negative to begin with. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for the silver lining. I'm not gonna put on rose-colored glasses and like just assume everything's great, but I'm gonna hope.
Shut your goddamn mouth, Ryan.
I'm gonna hope for it, and like,
I don't even think you need glasses or even hope. Like, this is a win-win. We can all just admit, like, some people don't need the WWE, and the WWE doesn't need some people.
Right.
That's fine.
and it's for
and
a,
everybody
and it's
will be
for a
fine.
season, and it's for a season too. Like, Dean Ambrose will be back.
Absolutely.
Harper, if he wanted to come back, if he gets granted his release,
Right. 'Cause
Drew
he is
McIntyre
still under contract.
is
Drew
probably the
McIntyre's-
greatest example
Drew
of this.
McIntyre's a guy who was able to go make his own flavor ice cream and come back and be better off because of it.
Absolutely.
Jinder Mahal, same thing. He got fired, came back. He was WWE champion.
He was.
So there's a lot of positives out there. Like, if Sasha Banks gets granted her release, she'll come back, and when she comes back, she's gonna be a world beater. Like, there's places for them all. If they're unhappy now, they'll go. And guess what? Listening to some of the Pritchard shows, Vince's old motto was, if you're unhappy here, go be unhappy somewhere else.
Yeah.
Sure.
And just like, let them think the grass is greener.
Yeah.
And then when they realize that it's just spray painted green and it's not actually green, then we'll see.
Devin wants us to talk about the Shield special. Yeah, there's going to be the Shield are going to be at a house show. They're showing it on the network.
It's in like the Quad Cities, right?
I mean, it's
Kevin Nash.
It's
Illinois.
It's to peddle merchandise and get more people tuned into the network. It's that simple, and it's going to work.
This is
It's
their
Dean's
real
last. It's
their
Dean's,
real last.
It's Dean's last WWE event.
Really
Yes.
for real.
Yes.
Actually,
Until he eventually comes back.
I have a friend who unknowingly has tickets to this. Like, well, they know they have tickets for it, but they bought tickets for it, not knowing it was going to be Dean's last night.
Here's the deal.
And on the network.
Tickets?
Here's the deal.
I probably would.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably going to tune in at one point of it because I've been waiting for them to put, to put a house show on the network.
Sure.
Like even if it's even
What
if
else are you doing Easter night? Is it this Sunday?
Yeah.
What else are you going to be doing? You're done
Sleeping
eating. You're
from
gonna,
dinner.
Right,
Yeah.
Right. Bro, I'm so fucking fat. Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, pretty
WWE. Right.
Yeah, like it is what it is. Like, I mean, it's.
What do you guys have for Easter dinner? Are you
ham?
A ham? A ham? Are you a hammer?
See, I'm not one of those types of people who chooses either or. If I had my way, I'd have ham and turkey at everything.
At everything, every meal. All
Ham
the time.
and turkey, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter.
Okay.
Well, the wife's making ham, so we're having ham.
Amen.
What she make? If she was making sloppy joes, I'd be having sloppy
Having
joes.
sloppy joes. She said, "Let's go to
either.
Subway and get a ham sub." I'd go and get a ham sub.
Let's celebrate.
I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's-
that's fair, right?
Food is food. I'm not arguing.
That's preach.
Ronda Rousey indeed looking like there's going to be some time off. Monday, she took to Twitter with a photo of herself and her husband with the hashtag impregnation vacation. So, and I think this is along the lines of what we expected with Ronda Rousey.
Let me drop some knowledge on everybody here. This is factual, and you can take it to the bank. If the woman is on top, she can't get pregnant. No need for a condom. Fact.
That's not fact.
Really?
Yeah, that's definitely not fact.
Somebody try it and find out for me.
I love how you're being so realistic with that. Like, somebody try out.
Oh, fuck, I'm not. No, fuck that.
Oh, but if it's foolproof, then you should just be able to.
I mean, gravity is the reason it can't happen.
I don't think that's how it works, right?
Go ahead, prove me wrong.
I'm not in charge of that.
I'm not in that department. Hey,
Ask your doctor.
All our baby daddies out in the crowd.
Top or bottom?
Just telling you. I saw it online.
Daniel Bryan.
Tell me if your pants off.
Daniel Bryan has not been seen since WrestleMania 35. According to PW.
Did anybody call the cops?
I mean, he's not on WWE TV.
Oh,
he's not been seen.
I was
Sorry.
concerned. Poor guy got bullied in New York.
According to PW Insider, there is more to Bryan's injury than the company's letting on, but they are keeping the severity of it a, quote, closely guarded secret. He apparently got injured during the match.
Yeah.
Do we even have any clue what type of injury this is? Hopefully, I just hope it's not related to the prior injuries.
Spinal.
I broke my back.
I sincerely hope it's not related to the former problems. I'll say that. We might get out of here early, boys.
I'm sure he's fine.
In an interview with Ring the Bell, former WWE star Gail Kim spoke out about discrimination in the WWE. She said, "I truly believe that in Vince McMahon's mind, he doesn't think that someone of color could be the face of his company. So when I see talented people like Asuka and Kairi Sane get hired, I worry for them because I just know what kind of talent they have, and I'm worried about the stereotypes in this business. In a lot of cases, a lot of ethnic minorities get grouped together because the WWE doesn't know what else to do." If you follow Gail Kim on Twitter, she's definitely not silent about her dislike for her time in the WWE and the WWE as a company. And I obviously don't have firsthand experience of minority discrimination or firsthand experience of working for the WWE. So I'm not going to pretend that in any way, shape, or
Wait,
form.
you've never been under contract with WWE?
I have not. I know many people are probably surprised by that, by the way
You
that I
lied during our negotiations.
by the way that I defend them. But yeah, I've never at any point in my life worked for the WWE. But here's what I'll say. I do think that right now is a lot different than the WWE she worked in.
Without question.
Like without question.
That was 2004.
Right. So and I am sure, and if you look back at the company's history, like it may not have been and in many ways was not the best place to be. But I think if you look at the WWE now and who has been on or around the top of the company from a not only just championship standpoint, but just in terms of who's on TV the most and who's getting pushed and this and that. I think the game has changed a lot. So again, these especially given all of the other buzz around people leaving and people being unhappy and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, tend to be somewhat headline grabbing, but I don't know that in today's WWE there's a whole lot there.
Right. I'm sure there might be, and I'm sure there's some other people who might speak up for that. And the proof is kind of out there in everybody's faces. I mean, you can kind of look to what they've done with like Nakamura and what they've done with, until recently, Asuka, and what they've done with almost everyone until New Day came around. Like, so there's a bit of a track record that if you aren't white or European, that you're kind of only but so high. You can only be to a certain point.
Right.
And I don't know if that's just circumstantial or what. But I think WWE is more socially conscious now than they ever before. And again, it's another like sign of hope. Like, I hope that like if there is any injustice, that it gets resolved. And it moves forward. But I don't know how much Gail Kim can talk to me about current state of WWE's discrimination.
She can't,
considering she hasn't been there in like 12 years.
It's just that it's definitely a different time.
Yeah, culture's changed.
Like, and I'm not doing this. I know you're a WCW guy, but like Barry Windham, Vader, Sid Justice, Randy Savage, Diamond Dallas Page, Kevin Nash, Bret Hart, Scott Steiner, Chris Benoit, Jeff Jarrett, Chris Jericho. These are all like WCW champions. Lex Luger, the Giant, Sting, Ric Flair. Like, those are all white guys too.
There's only one.
Booker T, Ron Simmons. Like
two, yeah.
Like, there's two. I get that it was much before the WWE, but
yeah.
I think we're getting out of that time, and it's a good time. And like, I don't think you should shame the company for removing that and getting out of that time.
Right.
But I feel like she's a bit of a bitch.
No, we don't know her.
I've met her.
We don't know her.
Fuck her and her husband.
Ooh.
Oh.
Chef husband?
Oh.
I don't need them.
Yo, he can make me a plate.
Robert Irvine's cool, man.
He can wrap it up in tinfoil and send it on his way.
Andy Weinberg's here. Hello.
It'll hold.
I still think you cheated a bit. You bent the rules a little more than we would have hoped at Northern Tier, Weinberg. But
you're supporting it with the
supporting
shirt.
it with the shirt. I like wearing the shirt and letting people know around the Lancaster area that I feel like I'm a winner.
Okay,
that's all.
100%. I have nothing else.
I know you don't. We're out of ideas.
If you guys,
I was jotting down, and I was just thinking that I'd like to do some sort of trivia on a monthly basis or something like that. Test the wits of some people. the winner gets to host the trivia the following week or the following month. 10 random questions just to pick the brains of my fellow co-hosts. Doesn't have to be about professional wrestling.
Oh, so you want me versus Jim?
If you guys are down and we have a little bit of time, I can run through 10 questions really quick.
Let's go.
The first to say the answer, obviously, is the victor. And I don't know, you can like bragging rights until the next show.
That's fine.
Okay. So I jotted down 10. That's what I was doing during the pre-show, post-show.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
I like good trivia.
And then you guys can be the judge out there in the land of TV.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Who if I don't know who won.
Okay.
Question number 1. H2O is the chemical formula for water. What is the chemical formula for carbon dioxide?
CO2.
That is correct.
I thought this was going to be wrestling trivia.
I just told you it was not all wrestling trivia. So that's a Jim. Are you not ready for a not wrestling trivia?
Oh, I mean, I thought it was going to be all wrestling trivia.
Oh, you were waiting for the wrestling tie-in.
I was ready. Yeah.
Was not going to happen there.
Okay, now I'm
Okay.
here.
What is the square root of 1/4? 1/4. What is a square root of 1/4?
There isn't one.
That is incorrect.
This is a math question. I don't know.
It is 1/2. 1/2 times 1/2. That's a quarter. What is the longest?
Hold on.
All right, guys, type in what is the square root of 1/4? Like the.
Great TV, great radio here.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, you're right. Okay.
I know I'm right. I wrote the questions down.
I can write anything on a piece of paper. It doesn't make it right.
That is true. Are we ready for the next question?
Sure, yes,
Sure.
resume.
What is the longest river in the United States?
Mississippi.
That is incorrect.
The longest river
Go ahead, you can fact check me.
in the United States. Colorado River.
That is incorrect. It is the Missouri River. Go ahead, fucking look it up.
Wow.
Sure.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and sometimes Young was a famous 70s supergroup. What was Nash's first name?
Graham.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's solid.
That is correct, Tim. So we have Tim at 1, Jim at 1.
All I
We're
could
all
think was
tied up.
Rick Nash, but he played for the New York Rangers.
And I had Steve Nash in my
Kevin
head.
Nash.
Kevin Nash.
What was the car? What was the car's name in Knight Rider?
Kit.
Tim is correct.
Knight Industries Transport. Kit.
Wow, I didn't
Wow,
know.
I didn't know that either, actually.
Ah, give me bonus points. You
No,
schmuck.
you don't get bonus points. Jack off.
What is the capital? What is the capital of Vermont?
Montpelier.
Oh, god damn it, that's a tie.
Yeah, why don't you not ask a commercial question?
I'm going to give you both points for that.
That's fine.
Tim and Jim. Who was the youngest person ever elected president?
JFK.
That is correct.
Obama's too.
Pete Buttigieg is about to break the doors off of that one.
What is the colored part of the human eye called?
The iris.
The iris. Tim is on fire.
Damn.
Yep. As soon as you told me it wasn't wrestling trivia anymore,
he
I just had to change it.
How many grams are there in a kilogram?
1,000.
Who was that? I don't know. Is anyone take that one?
I don't care. It's fun.
Yeah, we're going to give it to Jim. It's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter.
Final question. Who was the very first Intercontinental Champion?
Pat Patterson.
That's correct.
Fuck. Rio de Janeiro. Phantom title. Phantom tournament. Give it a point. Jeopardy, baby. Ding, ding. I'll host next week.
That is Tim with 6. Jimmy, you have 3.
Yeah, I started strong.
You started strong. The square root question got you all. Fun little thing. Thank you, guys.
That was the trivia experience. TX right there.
TX. Not to be confused with VX or DX or VD.
That's the Velveteen Dream.
Sure.
I broke my back.
Well, that didn't go as long as I thought. Sorry, guys. I only had 10 questions.
That's okay. Cool.
Shoot. We don't even have the ad libs book down here.
Bang bang.
I have the ad
Bang,
libs.
bang. Oh, do you want to do an ad lib?
Let's do an ad lib.
Let's do an ad lib.
Yeah, we got time to kill. Anybody even still watching this? Sorry. Sorry, guys.
Everybody loves a good ad lib.
I love a good ad lib. Matt's not here to tell me what an adverb is, though. Son of a bitch.
That's right. Our grammar dude's not here.
Our grammar dude. I kind of know like some grammars.
An adverb is an ly. That's all I needed to know. I think that's right.
I'm gonna throw this up behind. Not that this is good thinking music, but
A word or phrase that modifies or qualifies.
Nope, I don't care what it is. I just
an
need an
adjective,
example.
verb, or other adverb. Gently, quite, then.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Here we go, folks.
All right, so this one is titled TLC at Our House.
Ooh. These get pretty filthy pretty quick. So if you're a child or have kids in the room, they should leave now.
Tim, can I get an adjective, please?
That is a describing word, correct?
Yes. Tim, can I get an adjective, please?
Moist.
Ooh.
God, this is such great
Ryan,
music.
can I get a noun, please?
Hero.
Ooh, there you go. I'm going to do plural noun. I'm going to say sticks.
Stick.
Tim, a noun, please.
Bus.
Ryan, can I get a part of the body, please?
Penis.
Thank you.
Yes.
Adverbs. This is
I got it.
Go.
Savagely.
Savagely.
I'm on a list of adverb site.
very nice. Noun. I'm gonna go condom. Ryan, can I get a occupation, please?
Street walker.
I thought you were going to go proctologist.
Oh, that's a solid one, too.
Tim, can I get a plural noun, please? Who are you waving at?
Brian's going night-night.
Night, Brian.
Good night, Cousin Brian.
Toys.
Ryan, plural noun, please.
Dentures.
As opposed to just one denture.
Multiple dentures is
Sure. Plural noun. I'm gonna do anuses.
Anuses.
ani.
Ani. Ani, great.
Tim, can I get a celebrity, please?
Regis Philbin.
That's a solid one.
Person in room, Ryan. And Ryan, can I get a plural noun to finish this off?
A plural noun.
Yes, please.
Oh.
I got one.
It's going to be a very descriptive plural noun. It's
Okay.
going to be multiple. It's like a proper plural noun.
Okay.
Finn Balor's balls. Will that work?
Well,
And
sure.
I want to make sure
possessive-
they are Finn Balor's.
That's a possessive plural.
It's what sits below the club.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
We'll make it work.
So we got
Here we go. What is it
we
going
got
to be?
TLC at our house. We got it's Sunday night. Mom has prepared a selection of moist appetizers, and Dad calls everyone to the hero room. Oh God, this
I need a hero room.
oof. Which can only mean one thing. It's time for tables, ladders, and sticks on the WWE bus.
Yo, I
Sounds
want to
like
be
a-
on the WWE
Sounds
bus.
like a Lana video. I want to see Dean Ambrose fight Seth Rollins until he can't lift his penis.
He's going to beat him so good.
Shouts my baby sister savagely. I want to see the condom challenge the streetwalker for the title in a toys match.
Ding, ding.
More like ding dong. Feel me? I want to see the condom challenge the streetwalker in a titles in a toys match. Adds my brother. I'm really looking forward to seeing my favorite tag team, Goldust and Stardust. Remember, this is 2015 when this is written. Goldust and Stardust, or maybe Twin Dentures, the Usos, battle it out against the new WWE tag team, the Anuses, made up of Regis Philbin and Ryan. Yep, there's nothing quite like watching grown men pound one another with Finn Balor's balls.
There it was. I knew
to
it would work.
foster family closeness.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Tim, where can the people follow you at?
At Not the Toolman across all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat if you care. Every 3 days a week, Wednesdays, Fridays, Sundays, I stream live on twitch.tv/Not the Toolman. I have off tomorrow, so I'm going to be probably streaming a lot. So if you want to watch me play some Minecraft with my girlfriend, come on by around 11 o'clock. It'll be fun. You get to meet food. You get to meet food and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. Yeah, so come on by, say hi, have a good time, enjoy your 3-day weekend. And
if you have one.
If you have one. If not, just enjoy the Easter weekend.
Ryan, how can the people
Jim, I love
follow or pay attention to anything
They
you're
can
doing?
follow me. I don't know. It's at RYN Eagle. I sent out my tweet for the week. I said something Mueller report, something superstar shakeup, something hashtag NFL schedule release, something NBA playoffs, something Game of Thrones, something Stanley Cup, something Child's Play, something Easter. Have a great fucking weekend.
Happy Easter, Lee. Make sure you're going to our website, 3countthursday.com. By the way, Kevin Owens, as part of the New Day, was the winner of the week. But make sure you check out our home network, ngscsports.com. The sponsor of this show, Alicia's Pillows and Things. You'll get pillows, stools, full body, neck pillows, and much more, featuring sports teams, cartoon characters, movie characters, and more. Everything, folks. 3countthursday.com. You'll find Facebook. You'll find our Twitter. You'll find our Instagram. You'll find our Snapchat. You'll find our YouTube. You'll find our merchandise at whatamaneuver.net, our collar and elbow brand deal, our Patreon page for just $2 a month or more. You can get bonus content and a lot of other cool stuff. Links to upcoming indie shows and much, much more. Intern Marks, WCW. But again, 3countthursday.com. Until next week, folks, stay safe, stay smart, go for the pin.